Hey, good morning all. For me it's morning. This is the one time I can get these little short videos taped. As we know, we try and bring the best tips to you for doing your repairs as quickly and most cost effectively as possible. Today what we have is we have a customer's American changer that the guts were sent in. This is an early, I'll show you here, this is an early universal board setup. It's actually a super. Excuse my mess there. Alright, so this is what we call a super universal board. I'm going to turn it on here. We have it hooked up to our set of customer hoppers. Let's see what it does this morning. We have, as you can see by the top row, both hoppers plugged in. There's your running total. There's no errors. And we have one MEI validator plugged in. This would be the second one. There's not a lot of reason to have that one running, unless of course you have an issue, and then we need to check it out. So we have checked the programming on this, and it is correct. So let's show you our little test jig here. We have our two hoppers set up there. The hopper is the issue with this repair. This technically would be our left one, which we have it marked left, our right one. The right one runs, dispenses coins, as I'm going to show you, but it is rough. So I'm going to put 2 coins in each hopper, and I have the side terminals jumped so I don't have to put hundreds of dollars worth of coins in there. Okay, you're going to see that we're going to get 2 out of each side. Alright, 2 coins. Now what I'm going to do now is we want to test the, well, we don't want to test it. We want you to hear the right side, that it is running rough, because we have not opened it up yet. And that's, we want to find out why it sounds so bad. So what we're going to do here, going to get 2 out of the left, and then the right's going to continue to run. Oops, I guess we had other coins in there. Okay, that didn't work out exactly the way I wanted it to. Let's try this. Okay, see, the left side is empty. This side's going to run until it goes back to here to complete the VEN. But do you see how rough it sounds? That's what we're going to do here. So let's empty this one. 2 more coins. It's done. Alright, so what we're going to do here, I'll do this live. I want everybody to see how these come apart. Take our jumpers off. And I think I can do this by leaving the hopper extension on. Well, you know what, let's, as I talk to myself here, let's take the hopper extension off, because we are going to clean this hopper and get it fixed up for the customer. This is kind of what I like to use here. We call them 1/4-inch self-tappers. You can use a Phillips head too. The coins won't get stuck on a Phillips either. Alright. Set these aside. We're going to take off the diverter chute. This is what I use to get in there. It's an 11:30 seconds. Probably can't read it. To get this nylock nut off, Now we're ready to take the side off, and we'll see what's causing the problems there. Okay, almost there. Okay, the moment of truth here. We're going to remember that this is set up as a rear load because, just in case you forget, the plug-in is going to be away from the chute. If we were setting it up as a rear load, here's the chute. The plug-in would be on this side. So let's open it up. This was cleaned up, rebuilt, something by another company just recently. Well, we lost a screw there. We didn't want to do that. You know, believe it or not, this thing looks... I'm pretty sure I pulled the belt off when I took the top off. So here's another way to test these. Now what we're going to do now, we're going to test to see if this noise is in the gearbox. And then we'll take the gearbox off next. So let's plug this guy in again. Put our jumpers on it. These go on the two left studs of the side of the hopper. All right, let's gear it up again. Alright, so what we're going to do here, same routine, going to empty out the left side so the right side runs. Alright, you hear that? That's where our problem is, in the gearbox. That is, that's not the loudest I've heard, but it's close to crazy loud. Nobody wants to listen to that. And it may last a few months, it may last a few days. Alright, real quick, take the cover off. Alright. Does look like somebody cleaned it. However, if you don't check the gears, you're going to have that obnoxious loud noise. I can almost tell. Oh yeah. Alright, so we're going to take them off. Get down to the two. You can spin them, and there doesn't seem to be any kind of a little piece of dirt or gravel. This one here is a little loose. You probably can't see it from the camera, but this is going to be a problem. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get my tiny little Phillips out and see if that motor is tight. The next thing we're going to do now, yeah, the motor was a little loose, but I don't think it was enough to cause a problem. So what we're going to do now, we're going to hook it up again, and we're going to run it with just the motor. Okay, these motors can get loud. Not often. They are pretty good motors. They are pretty strong. All right, once again our jumper, so it'll run. Alright, coming up, and if I remember right, we have coins in the left one. It's running pretty smooth. This will run for a while until it thinks we've run out of, or it's had coins go through it, like that. Just cover the sensor a couple times and it thinks the coins have gone through. So okay, where we're at here now, I think I'm going to get a new set of gears, or at least a set of reman gears off the shelf, and put them in here, because I'm pretty sure 1, 2, all of those gears are loud because they're just old. So let me do this. I'm going to shut down for just a second, grab some gears, and then we will install them and try it again. So stand by. Okay, back at it. We've got a set of gears ready to go in. This is the synthetic grease I use. It's kind of less messy. It's clear. It's what guys use on their bicycle chains, things like that. So this can be bought at Amazon. That's where I buy them. And I'll try and put a link at the bottom so you know what to get. So let's do this. I'm gonna show you how I like to start with the grease. A little bit of black grease in here. We didn't do a complete, you know, what I call Q-tip everything to make it look like a brand new unit, because we are just working after somebody else has already done this. Make sure I got the camera in the right spot. I do. Alright, synthetic grease. I don't have to overdo it with this stuff. Sometimes I do overdo it. Just a little bit of grease there. We will get the outer, the biggest gear goes on the bottom. A lot of people, you can put them on wrong, but it won't work. So alright, so here is the first gear, goes towards the bottom. What I do is I spin them, because on a rare occasion there could be something on that gear in one of those teeth. Now, what it could be, who knows? But it'll want to bind up that motor. So second one, you can still spin it. Now you're going to find that when you get to the next one, you cannot spin it without holding down by one of these gears, is what I'm trying to say, because gear reduction takes over and you just can't move it. So here's the second to last one. See, you can sort of move it, but you're better to spin it by this one here. Okay, now we are on to the last one, which is your flat big gear. In this one, there's no way you're going to spin it. But before we put, before we put the thing completely together, and by that I mean the coin belt and all that, we want to still run it to where we know it's going to be okay. So now I even picked up a second hand one of these. We don't change very many of the plastic drive, belt drive gears. Okay, so that's that. Find our two screws, which we always seem to misplace. Sometimes you find that these little screws are stainless, and then of course they're not magnetic. Sometimes they're steel and they're no problem. So I usually put on the inner screw. This has to be, oh, it went right on. Sometimes you have to wiggle those around a little bit to get them to line up. So let's do this. Keep in mind, these Ryobis I use, these are 4 volts, so it's hard to over tighten. Because you got to remember, most of this stuff is going into plastic. You don't want to strip them out. Alright. So now, once again, see how this gets a little time consuming. We're going to plug it in, and we're going to see how those gears sound. They probably, because we isolated everything else, they probably sound just fine. So let's put another set of jumpers on. Kind of have to keep taking these on and off, because if you lay it on that side, they'll just go snap. Alright. Let's start it up again. See, when you do somebody's repair on components like this, it's not so much the time you spend in the repair, it's how long you did all the cleaning and all the little setup and plugging in and unplugging. Alright. Alright. Now we're just running on this. See how it's a lot quieter? Alright, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to finish the parts installation as far as the side cover and the belt, and then we'll plug it in again. So stand by. Okay, we are ready to put the belt on. If you haven't done this, be patient. It'll go on. It's can be a little tricky, but anyways, when you go to put the belt on after you've cleaned it, be sure you have all 16 segments. See these teeth? I call them the shark's teeth. They're only on one side of this belt. Those go to the bottom or against the hopper itself. So start here. This is the way I do it. This out of the way. Alright, we're almost there. I can feel one is out of the channel. Whoops, 2. Kind of hold down with your palms. Sometimes when you get down low, you can see which ones are. I think we got it. Now, I always spin these clockwise, flat on the bench. Now, when you get to the section of filling in the, or I should say, installing the idler or drive wheel, this guy, do like so. Once again, you're holding it down because it'll pop out of that channel. Okay, now, you don't want to touch it. Don't mess with it. Okay. Leave it flat, like so. Once again, I like to get at its own level. Okay, kind of feel around the outside. Be sure there's no space between the groove, because you don't want to suck it down with the screws. You want everything to be smooth. I kind of tighten it in a symmetrical and I don't lean on it for tightening. It doesn't have to be that tight. I've had some of these come in where it's so tight it's struggling to turn the belt. I loosen them up all a turn and it's fine. So keep that in mind. Alright, last one. Now let's see how she runs and how she sounds. I did not put any grease on the 12 pins at the plate, which I do for the simple fact that a customer could put this in a machine and never remove a hopper, and those 12 pins in a certain climate could definitely be become corrosive and hard to get out. So, all right, we have our hopper in question back together. We'll put 2 in there, none in here because we want to hear how that sounds on its own. Not bad, it's about how they should sound. They're never going to be dead quiet, guys, but when you put all those coins in there, 1,600 of them plus the hopper extension, it kind of muffles it to a certain extent. So like I said, you're never going to have a baby sleeping next to these, but anyway, so I think we're good to go. Customer will be back up and running here as soon as he gets his parts. So guys, I hope this helped you a little bit, and any questions, it helps us, send something in the message box down below. For now, Doug at Doug's World Tour, out.